Ready, peeps? Ready, peeps. Okay. Good evening, everyone. It is 5:05 p.m. and I call this public meeting to order. I want to thank everyone who is joining us this evening. If you want to make a public comment on the items listed under closed session agenda, please listen carefully to the directions provided by the clerk. Mrs. Martinez?
Public hearing for visitors who wish to address the board on closed session items. 15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on closed session items. Speakers seeking to comment on other items are requested to make those comments during the public comment portion of the meeting at 6:30 p.m. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. The school board is prohibited by law from taking action on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusion should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item included in this section of the agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they appear on our screen. Comments provided in writing will be read after the live comments. President Salazar, we do not have participants who wish to address the board at this time. President Salazar, we do not have comments submitted in writing for this portion of the meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Seeing none, hearing none, I close this public hearing and adjourn to closed session to discuss items 1A to 1D. The board will reconvene at the conclusion of the closed session. Thank you. Good evening. It is 6:53 p.m. and I call this regular meeting to order. Welcome to tonight's board meeting. I would like to welcome the media and everyone joining us in person and via Zoom. If you would like to make a public comment, please listen carefully to the directions provided by the clerk at the opening of each public comment period during the meeting. Superintendent Lyle.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, and members of the general public, I'd like to remind us all of our vision and our mission this evening. Madera Unified will set the standard for hard work, creativity, and resiliency with a fearless drive to continuously improve. And our mission states that we're committed to creating and sustaining a culture enabling Madera Unified students to experience an unparalleled educational journey that is intellectually, socially, and personally transformative. That is our business this evening.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Roll call. At this time, I ask everyone joining the meeting to please silence any electronic devices that are not linked to this meeting. Ms. Martinez, please take roll, and Trustee Cortez had to leave, and Trustee Dybert step away for a few minutes for an urgent phone call, but you may take, roll call of the rest of the ones right here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Trustee Llanos.
Here.
Trustee Duque Martinez.
Present.
Trustee Ahmad.
Here.
Trustee Fleek.
Here.
Trustee Seibert.
Here.
Clerk Mendoza.
Here.
President Salazar.
Here. Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Trustee Ahmad, would you please lead us in the flag salute?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Trustee Ahmad. Tonight's scheduled invocation will be provided by Reverend Neely of Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church. I invite Reverend Neely to the podium.
The button, sir.
Can you turn on the speaker? Push the red button.
Oh, there we go.
There you are, sir.
Let us bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we once again approach you, Father, thanking you for this opportunity to go before you with the business of this county and this city. Father, we ask that you look upon our school board, bless the members, bless those that are in our congregation today, those that have decisions to make, words to speak. We ask that you bless us and keep us orderly. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Pastor Neely. Reverend Neely, I apologize. Closed session reportable actions. Superintendent Lyle.
We have none this evening, ma'am.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Adoption of the agenda, Mrs. Martinez.
Action to add or delete items from any portion of the agenda or to discuss any consent agenda items must be taken prior to adoption of the agenda.
Superintendent Lyle, does staff have items to add or remove from the agenda?
This evening, we do not, President Salazar.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Trustees, do you have items to add or delete from the agenda? Trustee Dybert? Trustee Ahmad? Trustee Fleet?
None.
Trustee Seibert?
No.
Clerk Mendoza?
No.
And myself, no. Trustees, do I have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda as presented? Please state your name when you make a motion and second the motion.
Trustee Dybert, I move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Trustee Seibert, I'll second.
Thank you. It has been moved by Trustee Dybert and second by Trustee Seibert to adopt the agenda as presented. Mrs. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Leonos,
Yes.
Trustee Duque Martinez,
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
Trustee Cortez, Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
Trustee Fleek,
Yes.
Trustee Seibert,
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
President Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar counted eight ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 1 absent. Right? Is that correct? Okay.
And two of the votes were proficient.
Two of those
Two of
votes.
those votes are preferential.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Item number 6, Student Board Representative Report. Hector Hernandez of Alternative Education and Laura Mendoza Soria of Madera High. I invite Hector Hernandez to present Alternative Education Student Representative Report.
Good evening, Board President, Superintendent Lyle, and board members. Hello, my name is Hector Hernandez, and I'm a senior at Mount Vista High School. I will be presenting information on behalf of the Alternative Education Schools. Next slide, please. First up is Mount Vista High School, where knowing their students by name, need, and interest is the focus for the year. Next slide, please. This month of October was another month to celebrate 3 more fifth-year graduates from Mount Vista High: Vanessa Angel, Carissa Hernandez, and Elijah Hoffer. This gives Mount Vista so far a total of 7 fifth-year graduates so far. It was a great day for these students, and we hope to see them in June, where they will be eligible to participate in the graduation ceremony. Next slide, please. Senior Sunrise took place on October 6th at the Rotary Sports Complex, where students had a perfect view of the sunrise. Students were able to share this experience with each other bright and early, and then staff prepared some mini pancakes, bacon, and sausage, along with some hot cocoa to close this event. Next slide, please. Mount Vista participated in the volleyball tournament held at Sequoia High School in Merced. The tournament included similar schools and provided an opportunity for students to experience friendly athletic competition. Mount Vista went 2-2 and had a great time bonding with one another. Next slide, please. On October 11th, students participated in making tie-dye t-shirts along with receiving some snacks as a reward for meeting their ROAR expectations of having no major referrals, passing all of their courses, and having 90% attendance rate. Next slide, please. On October 13th, seniors were able to participate in the yearly mock interviews. Students have been preparing for this event for the first half of the semester by creating portfolios with resumes, recommendation letters, and job applications. Students then participate in a one-on-one mock interview with community members from the U.S. Marines, Madera County Probation, and Madera County District Attorney Office. Students received feedback from these community members to reflect on and prepare for the future job interviews. Next slide, please. Mount Vista High School has created a wide variety of Red Ribbon Week activities for students to participate in and make pledges to be kind to your mind and live drug-free by making healthy choices. Students will also read messages over the intercom for all students to hear, reminding them about staying drug-free and making healthy choices. Next slide, please. Next up is Ripperton High School. Next slide, please. Here are some of our wonderful students getting an opportunity to participate in a field trip to San Francisco. For some of our students, it was also their first opportunity to visit San Francisco and drive across the Bay Bridge. They spent a day visiting art museums and taking in wonderful city. Next slide, please. Our volleyball team got a chance to go to Merced and compete in a volleyball tournament. Our team was short-handed and barely met the minimum requirement of 6 players. Our road runners worked hard, showed grit, and managed to make it all the way to the championship game. Just falling short and finishing with a strong second-place finish, we are so proud of our kiddos for their effort and hard work. Next slide, please. Special congratulations to our student character hero for the quarter, Elijah Bond, and his family. In addition to being named Student of the Quarter, he also won a brand new bike. We also have students volunteering to help out our reigning student champion, Mr. Ramirez, with a project around campus. We are truly working hard to make sure our students feel connected in the family environment that has been created here at Ripperton. Next slide, please. Up next is Furman High School information. Next slide, please. On October 7th, 2023, our leadership students, Natalie Rivera, Student Board Trustee Mia Garza, Gerardo Montano, Jose Lopez, and Furman High students, Jaylene Pisano and Bethany Berera, volunteered to help Olive Foundation with their 5K run fundraiser. Our students assisted with checking participants, handing out water, and directing runners. The students learned serving others is at the heart of a great community. Great job. Next slide, please. Furman High students took a walking trip to MSHS FFA Pumpkin Patch to pick out the most beautiful pumpkins for their spooky senior sunrise. Next slide, please. Furman High nominated Anthony Duran as our student character hero for quarter 1. Anthony is very caring, dedicated, and respectful toward other students and staff. Mr. Chivera, Mr. Salway, and Mr. Bravo were also chosen by students as student champions for also demonstrating respect toward students and staff. Next slide, please. Furman High held its second annual college and career fair on October 17th. This event was coordinated and implemented by the leadership class and the counseling department. The leadership students also created a commercial video with the superhero theme in order to promote this event. There were representatives from these diverse fields and careers, breakout sessions, great food, DJ music, and prizes were given out throughout the day. Students also enjoyed themselves as they spoke with different representatives and completed the task for the scavenger hunt. Next slide, please. Furman High started its parent conferences this week. Teachers are meeting with students and parents in person or via Zoom to review Me2B reports, goal setting, credit completion, graduation status, GPA, class, and attendance progress. Next slide, please. Furman High will have its senior spooky sunrise this Friday, October 27, starting at 6 a.m. Students and staff are encouraged to dress up and join the festivities for breakfast. There will be food, hot chocolate, and music. Next slide, please. All the alternative education school sites believe in helping all students finish strong and graduate. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. I invite Laura Mendoza Soria to present the Madera High Student Representative Report.
Good evening, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, Superintendent Lyle, and Board of Trustees and members of the public. I hope you are all doing well today. Next slide, please. I would like to begin on October 14, when the Fall Regional Meeting was held. There were more than 2,000 current members in FCCLA present. Workshops were given by region officers and heard special updates from the national state officers. At the CTE Expo, Diana Vasquez, the state historian, assisted and holding a booth in family and consumer science. Next slide, please. This year's CET Expo gave Madera High culinary ROP students an opportunity. The students spent 2 days preparing meals for more than 250 volunteers in the professional kitchen and serving community members and students at the Fresno Grizzlies concession stand. On Monday, October 16, student leaders from Madera Unified High Schools and Middle School joined over 2,000 students from around Central Valley at the Ariel C Students Leadership Conference. That day was filled with many workshops, networking, and type note speakers, the amazing T-sheet. Link Crew members recently held their second academic follow-up. The goal was to understand that competition directly impacts our relationship, so we should be aware of it. Freshman students were given various activities to help understand that sometimes it's just not fair. During October 19 through the 28th, our Madera High School drama class is hosting a fall play, Moon Over Buffalo, starring Henry Marquero as the husband George, Giselle Castillo, and Addison Rollins as the wife Charlotte Hay. On October 10th to the 13th, we had our homecoming week, which held various enjoyable events, one of these being our homecoming rally. Volunteers from the audience were chosen to play amazing games, and our staff and students participated in as well. With another amazing event, we hosted our homecoming parade. Members of the community, students at Madera High School, were able to attend and cheer on their peers as they came along on their floats. Later on that day, we hosted our football game, announcing our 2024 homecoming king and queen. Recently, our athletic teams, golf, tennis, volleyball, and water polo hosted their senior nights to celebrate their accomplishments throughout the journey on their team. We're excited to announce breaking news as this afternoon, Our Lady Coyote golf team won the Division III championship. And congratulations to Coach Moran and all the Lady Yotes golfers. These are some of our upcoming events at Madera High School. Next slide. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Mendoza-Soria. Student Board Member Information and Report. Devali Llanos of Madera South High School and Emily Doque Martinez of Torres High School. Trustee Llanos, I invite you to share your report with the board, please.
Good evening, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, trustees, Superintendent Lyle, and distinguished guests. We just wrapped up our Pink Out game where we honored our science teacher, Mariana Hernandez. This week is our rodeo rivalry week with Torres, and our stallions are incredibly excited. We have shared dress-up days this week with Torres and are having a spirit competition. Yesterday, we started the week off with our Stallion Stampede Rally. Wednesday, we will be hosting our Stallion Staff versus Toro Staff kickball game. And on Friday, we will end the week with our Rodeo Bowl game. Since our last report, we had an issue about students not being able to bring in outside food. We held a listening session to hear student feedback and other things going on campus. I was asking questions based on current events and activities as well as current issues on campus. We brought up the question, how do you feel about not being able to bring in outside food and drinks, since this was an issue students were having based on a survey I had shared. Students explained how they would like to get rid of that policy. Mr. Steinmetz said that it may be possible to come up with alternative options for off-food campus, but we would need to consider all aspects of the issue first. That is all for my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Llanos. Trustee Doque Martinez, I invite you to share your report with the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, buenas tardes, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, staff, and members of the public. I hope you all are doing well and maintaining good health. Leading into the month of October, Torres held its first student voice meeting of the year. We had the opportunity to place ourselves within the various lenses in which these diverse groups view certain subjects, such as the respect shown on campus, student-to-teacher engagement, student-to-student engagement, and care closets, which is an idea derived from the previous student voice group and something which we plan on implementing this year with the assistance of our student body. The students focused deeply on the subject of social and emotional support services. The discussion revolved around the way in which mental health is portrayed throughout social media, resources, and in-person discussions, such as the challenging access to these campus sources. Our students want to establish a foundation of familiarity with the people they are meant to be vulnerable with. This detail, although often overlooked as the students are referred to specialists, is something that I decided to take action towards by looking into having our on-campus resources come out to spend more in-person time with the students, or even creating presentations introducing who they are, what they do, and how to get in contact with them. We look forward to building that foundation between the student and their counselor, psychologist, therapist, community support specialist, and for some, even their peer counselor. The following week, we had our House of Reps meeting where the students addressed campus concerns such as the behavior of other students correlated with the use of inappropriate substances and materials in the bathrooms. The group of representatives used each other's input in order to form a series of solutions which will be taken into consideration to further the development of a welcoming, healthy, and overall safe environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Duque Martinez. Communication, student and staff recognition. The Madera minutes. Superintendent Lyle.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and public, here are some highlights of all the things we've been up to the last 2 weeks. And it's been a lot.
Over 1,600 TK to first grade students from Madera Unified Elementary Schools visited the Madera South High School Farm from October 11th through the 13th, where they were introduced to many aspects of agriculture. Madera FFA members and staff guided visiting students through activity stations where they experienced a hayride, a petting zoo, learned to plant pumpkin seeds, and created a picture book showing an orange farm to table journey. The students also received a free pumpkin grown at the Madera South High School Farm.
Agriculture is a crucial part, especially here in Madera, because we are surrounded by agriculture. It is important that we teach our younger generations what agriculture is. And it always starts once you're small. As you're growing, you get to expand your knowledge as well.
Washington Elementary celebrated its back-to-school night with a Calinda Parade celebration in the neighborhoods near the school. The parade showcased music, dancing, and large figures called Monos de Calinda and Marmotas, which are part of a traditional celebration in Oaxaca, Mexico. Families also got to enjoy many live performances by the Diablos Mixtecos Unidos and food from various vendors. Thank you to the school's leadership for putting on a great community event.
The community was waiting for something like this to happen, and that they feel included, seen and heard and valued. Their cultures being celebrated, their language, their cultures, their customs, and they're a part of our schools. And so it's important that they are also celebrated here in Madera and at Washington Elementary.
Madera High School's homecoming parade was a thrilling event with a Friday Night Frights theme. The parade went downtown Madera and featured many school clubs and classes decorated floats that brought the students and staff's favorite Halloween movies to life. From Ghostbusters to clowns from outer space, spectators experienced the students and staff dressed up, showcasing their favorite horror movies and characters. The candidates and the homecoming royalty were also featured and announced at the game later on that day. Congratulations to Braden Hatfield and Aaliyah Hernandez. On Friday, October 13th, Sierra Vista hosted its annual Harvest Festival. Families were invited to a fun-filled event with games, food, music, and much more. Amazing job, Sierra Vista Rams. On October 17th, students and staff joined together for the second annual College and Career Fair, where they filled up their plates with tasty bites and minds with endless possibilities. Students were encouraged to ask questions and explore future career opportunities. On October 19th, Madera Unified High School Black Student Union students participated in a workshop hosted by UC Merced. The immersive experience exposed students to a college environment and provided insights into higher education opportunities. The students gained a deeper understanding of academic pursuits and campus life through interactive sessions with professors and campus tours.
We wanted to bring an opportunity for our high school Black student unions to come and experience the campus, engage with some of the professors that are here through workshops, and then also be exposed to the campus through a campus tour that's going to touch on some historical aspects of African Americans.
On the morning of October 18th, Sierra Vista, Virginia Lee Rose, and Washington Elementary Schools ecstatically observed International Walk to School Day. Engaging in a variety of enjoyable physical activities, students actively participated in this annual event designed to raise awareness about walkable communities and encourage physical activity among our student body. The City of Madera, in collaboration with the Madera Police Department and various county agencies, successfully orchestrated this community event. On October 19th, millions across America participated in the Great Shakeout Drill, including Madera Unified students. Safety measures and response strategies were practiced on what to do during an earthquake across the district school sites. On October 16th, Madera Unified High School and middle school students and activities directors participated in the annual CATA conference. The event brings students from all over the Central Valley together to share ideas, discuss best practices, listen to guest speakers, and network to improve their site's campus culture. They discuss topics such as campus inclusion, best event practices, and equity.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Item number 8B, public hearing for visitors who wish to speak on a subject not on the board agenda. Ms. Martinez?
15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on items not listed on the agenda and within the jurisdiction of the school board. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. If the subject is an item on the agenda, the board president has the option of asking the speaker to hold the comment until that item is called. Comments on items listed as a public hearing on the agenda should be held until the hearing is opened. The school board is prohibited by law from taking action on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusion should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item included in this section of the agenda, please step up to the podium, state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they appear on your screen. Comments provided in writing will be read after the live comments. President Salazar, we do not have any participants who wish to address the board at this time, and we do not have any comments submitted in writing.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Seeing or hearing no others, I close public hearing. Information and reports, annual district-wide discipline data presentation. Superintendent Lyle.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, we have here tonight Director Crafton here for this item. And I know she has been anxious to get this in front of the board. As a reminder, typically with the information reports, it's a little bit of a one-way street from staff to the board. We'll be happy to engage in small group meetings afterwards if you'd like. So there's a little bit more question and answer opportunity. But with that, Director Crafton, if you would, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, trustees, Superintendent Lyle, colleagues, and members of the public. First, before we begin, I just wanted to introduce the Student Services Consultants. This is the first time that we've had an opportunity to bring them forward, and they'll be giving you a 3-year range of data to just kind of show you trends. And as Superintendent Lyle stated, really just to provide you with an overview with some information, remembering that we do have the special board workshop on November 8th, where we can do a little deeper dive and kind of go into some of our responses to the data. The current data is only going to go through the 21-22 school year, because if you are not aware, just as a reminder, the DataQuest has not released the data and will not be released until December. It's embargoed. So we aren't going to be able to release anything involving 22-23 yet, but we will show you a peek into that in the November 8th meeting. So before we get too far, I want to first introduce Amy Anderson as one of our student services consultants, Michelle Watson, and Noel Jimenez, all three which should be familiar faces. They are former leaders at our sites who are now in the Student Services Department, really working on discipline and supporting our site leaders and students through processes in developing a better mindset around growth mindset, but also around trying to stay true to our charge, which is to teach. So without further ado, Amy, if you'd like to come up, there's a clicker if you'd like it.
Okay. Good evening. So as Director Crafton stated, next slide, please. We're going to be looking at 3 years worth of data. We're looking at the 17-18, 18-19, and then 21-22 school years. We're not looking at any years that were impacted by students being at home on, when we were doing distance learning, because obviously during those years, our suspension and expulsion rates were really low due to students not being on campus. As Director Crafton mentioned, we take this data from DataQuest, which is data that is compiled by our California Department of Education. And we, once again, won't be looking at that 22-23 school year. We anticipate that that will be released by the state of California shortly. Next slide, please. On this slide, you will find the suspension rates for the district. You can see in the total suspension column that will be the number that represents all of the suspensions, including when students might be suspended a number of times in one school year. When you look at the unduplicated count column, you will see the number of students suspended unduplicated. The state compiles our suspension rate percentage using that unduplicated number. So you can see that for the 2017-18 and 2018-19 school years, we were at about 6.7%. And then when we came back down, when we came back from the pandemic, we went down to 4%, which is a little bit more closely in line with what the state rate of suspension is. I'm going to now go ahead and let my colleague, Ms. Watson, come up, and she's going to provide you the disaggregated suspension data.
Good evening. I have the suspension rates, next slide please, for race and ethnicity. So I'd like to call your attention to the column for 2017-18 and then over to 2018-19. So you will see that there is a slight uptick for our Native American students from the 17-18 school year to 2018-19. And for our Caucasian students at the bottom, there's a slight uptick as well for those 2 school years. We have lower rates for our African American students for 2017 to 18. We also have a drop with our 2 or more races towards the bottom, our Asian students, and our intentionally declined students. You'll see that number go down as well. For the Filipino and Hispanic students, you'll see that the rate is fairly consistent from 2017 to 18. And then if you look at the 2018 to 19 to 2021 to 22 columns, you'll see that for all of our groups, including African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanic, 2 or more races, and our Caucasian students, we do have a drop in our rates. And then for our Asian and Filipino groups, there is a little bit of an uptick there, but those are very small numbers of students that we're talking about. And then for the intentionally declined and Pacific Islander areas where you see no numbers at all, those are not reported into DataQuest if the numbers of students are less than 10. So that's why you see that there. One of the things that we talked about in our group with regard to the drop between 2018-19 to 2021-22 is that during that year, 2021-22, we still had students that were out quite a bit with COVID. And then we also had quite a few students that were availing themselves of independent study that year. Next slide, please.
Ms. Watson, was absenteeism also quite high that year?
Yes, because of COVID. That was one of the reasons that we, or one of the things we talked about.
Right, so maybe, you know, I'm glad to see those numbers go down. However, if they're not at school, they're not in trouble at school. So one way or the other, it's not, there is a challenge in those numbers that we have to try to understand around absenteeism. So.
Correct. And we're thinking among our group that we might very well see those numbers go up once the kids came out of independent study back to schools and once there was less absenteeism because of COVID.
And they're having to re-socialize after having not socialized too much.
Yes, sir.
At school. Right.
They learn a lot on their own, even just attending. Yes, all about those things. Okay, so for suspension by group, we do see from 2017 to 18 to 2018-19 with our students with disabilities, there is a little drop there from 12.1% to 10.1%. For the rest of the groups, English learners, foster youth, homeless youth, socially, economically disadvantaged, and even our overall, it was fairly flat. There isn't a whole lot of difference between the rates and the percentages there. When you look at 2018 to 19 to 2021 to 22, again, you'll see drops kind of across the board there. And again, we're saying that's due most likely to absenteeism because of COVID and also because we had a lot of students that were in independent study. And again, we are theorizing that those percentage rates will go up once we look at the data that's coming out. Okay, I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Jimenez for the final portion of the presentation.
Good evening. So I'll be going over the expulsion data, suspension or expulsion rates by race and ethnic group. Next slide, please. So what you're going to see is our looking at from 2017 to 2022, the enrollment numbers from each of those years. In 21-22, yes, you do notice it is at 21,000, but we also include students that were in independent study, which were a high number. On the next one, you see the total expulsions. Again, those numbers, it seemed like they were decreasing, but again, chronic absenteeism did have an impact on 21-22. And then you look at the expulsion rate, 0.4, 0.4, and 0.3. State average is 0.1. Okay. Next slide, please. So here we're looking at the expulsion rate by group. So what I did is, because when you look at 0.3, it doesn't give you the numbers. So underneath each of those percentages are the actual numbers for each of the students in that group. So we have our English learners, and you see each, you had 18 in 2017, 2018, 19, and then in 21 and 22, we had 18 students. For our foster youth, you see that it's at 1, 1, and then 3. One of the things is that we've done a much better job of identifying our foster youth through really having a real team that's been really identifying them through communication with our parents and schools. Homeless youth, you see that as well. We went from 4, 3, and then 7. Again, a much better job of identifying the students so to ensure we're providing those supports. And then our socioeconomically disadvantaged, which is a very large group. We had 82 in 2017, 2018, 72 in 2018, 2019, and 55 in 21 and 22. And our students with our disability, and you see that those numbers have remained pretty consistent. Next slide, please. And then that quest basically identifies our three largest race ethnicity groups. So we're looking at our African American, our Caucasian students, and our Hispanic students. And in 2017, 2018, there was no African American students that were expelled. In 2018, 2019, we had 2. And in 21, 22, we did have 3. In our Caucasian students, for 2017, 2018, we had 5. 2018, 2019, we had 3. The number remained the same in 21, 22. For our Hispanic students, we had 2017, 2018, we had 79. We saw a decline in 2018, 2019, and then again, 21, 22, we had 50, again, impacted by our chronic absenteeism. Next slide, please. And that concludes our presentation.
So as Superintendent Lyle said, we're happy to answer any questions. Please reach out to us if there's anything that is needed. And then hopefully on November 8th, we'll be able to provide you with a little peek into some of our trends from last year, maybe like the 5 most referred reasons, the 5 most suspended reasons, et cetera, just to give you some in-depth understanding of what's going on in our school setting.
Thank you, Ms. Crafton.
Thank you very much.
Item 9B, union time. At this time, I invite the presidents of the unions to address the board. Mr. Holder? Okay, thank you. Mr. Holder's not here. Superintendent Lyle?
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and public, there are several items that I'd like to bring everyone's attention to. Washington's Calenda and Guelaguetza was held on the 11th of October. This was the first of its kind, and the community really came out in force to support the event. I want to thank the Tiger team for organizing and leading such a fun event, and thanks to the trustees who attended to witness it firsthand. Another connection I'd like to make for the board is this is what we learned while we visited down in southern Mexico, and I think it's really important that we keep in mind the power of cultural exchanges to help us understand the students and the families that we serve. Another fun thing that just happened recently, or a little bit inspiring, fun's not the right adjective. MTech tours began on October 12th, and we have another round of those coming up. We even had Council Member Jose Rodriguez attend, and he expressed his support for the work that's being done at MTech. Our principals were expertly led by our college and career readiness leaders and our MTech leaders. We saw many light bulb moments amongst our principals, and we should see some innovative educational leadership come from those tours, and there will be even more tours to come. So it was a really good opportunity to be there. And again, thanks. I think that Trustee Fleek, I think you were in attendance at that, if I'm not mistaken. Also wanted to say that our homecoming parade for Madera High School happened on October 13th, and President Salazar participated, got to drive. And Trustee Fleek and Trustee Dybert were there to attend and express their support. We really appreciate that. It was a really great community showing. In fact, that was probably some of the biggest crowds I think we ever had. And Trustee Ahmed, did you get to drive, or did you just get to ride? Just get to ride. We'll get that fixed next year. You get to drive. I'll ride with you. You drive. Thank you guys for coming out. The community really did. It was a really good, fun time. Our DLAC meeting was held on October 16th, and we had 3 trustees, President Salazar, Trustee Cortez, and Trustee Dybert, and nearly 20 administrators there to show their commitment. Really good showing for us. We need to make sure that our parents are there. And again, the leadership that was selected yet again, I think is going to be really a powerful group of leaders. Trustee Taha and alternative Trustee Rodriguez Hernandez held their first student voice meeting at Madera High School and did a really outstanding job. We heard a great deal from the students, and we'll be sharing it with the Madera High School administration soon. Thanks to Trustee Fleek and Trustee Dybert for attending. We also had a special board meeting held on October 18th to review and discuss the elementary achievement reports for our trustees. I want to thank the principals for coming and our area assistant superintendents for being prepared for that. We have a lot of work to do, and we know it. And then today Fresno State hosted the Exemplary Practice in Education Leadership Conference at Clovis Veterans Hall. We opened this conference to our vice principals from across the district so they could have an opportunity to attend and learn together. It was really good to see them out and having a learning experience as a greater team. Madera Unified programs were highlighted in 3 different sessions, with CTE represented by Director McKenna, Student Champion Culture represented by Directors Crafton and Diorian, and Teacher Support Mentors led by Assistant Superintendent Aiello and Coordinators Wade and Thornton, along with the entire team of teachers who also presented. It's important to thank them all for the extra time and effort it takes to present at a conference and to help other districts learn, and for making us proud for the good work they're doing and leading. And they just look good doing it too. They look comfortable in their own skin, like leading the Central Valley. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Item number 11, consent agenda. Mrs. Martinez?
Items listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine and are acted on by the Board of Trustees in one motion. There is no discussion of these items prior to the board vote unless a member of the board or staff requests specific items be considered and discussed separately and/or removed from the consent agenda prior to the adoption of the agenda. It is understood that the administration recommends approval on all consent items. Each item on the consent agenda approved by the Board of Trustees shall be deemed to have been considered in full and adopted as recommended.
I now open the consent agenda for public comment. Mrs. Martinez?
If you wish to address the board on an item included in this section of the agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they appear on your screen. Comments provided in writing will be read after the live comments. President Salazar, we do not have any participants who wish to address the board at this time, and we do not have any comments submitted in writing.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Seeing no one come forward, I close public comment. I now entertain a motion to approve consent agenda. State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion.
Trustee Fleek, I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. Second?
Trustee Ahmad, second.
Thank you. It has been moved by Trustee Fleek and second by Trustee Ahmad to approve the consent agenda. There are 3 resolutions listed in the consent agenda. Mrs. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Leonos,
Yes.
Trustee Duque Martinez,
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
Trustee Cortez, Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
Trustee Fleek,
Yes.
Trustee Seibert,
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
President Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar, I counted 8 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 1 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. At this time, I would like to take this opportunity to thank and acknowledge the following retirees for their service, not only in Madera Unified, but also for their service and commitment to Madera community. Antonia Guzman Rios, teacher at Millview, retirement 35 years. Lori Miller, RTL TSA at Alpha, retirement 30 years. Barbara Mendoza, paraprofessional aide, physical impaired, retirement 12 years. Thank you. Thank all ladies, thank you for your commitment. Item number 12, new business. Item 12A1, fiscal services, approve the Governmental Accounting Standards Board 75 actual valuation.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, we have CFO Garcia here for this item. Ms. Garcia?
Good evening, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, and trustees. As per Governmental Accounting Standards Board 75, we are required every 2 years to do an evaluation of an actuarial evaluation or net OPEB, that is other post-employment benefits, do an evaluation of our net OPEB liability. Tonight, I have in Zoom, I have Mr. Carlos Diaz. He works with the company DFA Actuaries, and back in June, the board approved DFA to perform this actuarial valuation, and we've been using the same company since 2007. So, Carlos, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. I appreciate this opportunity. As Arelis mentioned, I'm here to present a summary of the reports, but mainly to answer any questions that you may have. On the next slide, the first section basically repeats what Arelis said about the requirements, about what GASB 75, statement number 75 governs in regards to other post-retirement benefits. And we are dealing with respect to the district, we are, GASB 75 applies to the retiree medical health care that it provides. Those plan provisions are detailed on page 16, but very quickly, the district allows for continued medical insurance for retirees that meet certain eligibilities. Those eligibilities vary by date of hire, namely surrounding the July 1, 2002 date, and benefits are subject to caps, and they're payable to age 65 for the most part. On the next slide, what we do is, we understand the plan provisions. So when we do a full valuation, we have to make sure we understand the plan provisions, but then we gather census information from the district. On June 30th, 2021, there were 95 retirees receiving benefits under the plan. There were 1,800 or 1,840 active employees that could potentially grow into benefits in the future. Those were included in the valuation in 2021. We did a valuation this year, and as of June 30th, 2023, there were 99 retirees, and the active count increased dramatically to 2,317. You can see that the average service was much lower, indicating that there was a lot of hiring over the past 2 years. So we gather the information, understand what the benefits are. So for each individual, we project out what those promised benefits are. But in order to do that, we make assumptions. Those actuarial assumptions are summarized on pages 19 and 20. So for example, if we will project out healthcare costs. And so we'll take the current healthcare costs that are industry standards, and we'll have projections as to how we expect healthcare claims to be in the future. In terms of demographics, we may make assumptions as to, what's the percentage of people that terminate each year? When do people retire? What's the probability of passing away? So the liability that we calculate is a very statistical liability, fairly complex through computer algorithms. And then we take those projected benefits and we discount them based on a discount rate. Because the district has a fund that pre-funds the liabilities, we're able to use a 6% discount rate, which is the long-term expected return on assets. If the district did not have assets, which many of our districts don't, then we'd have to use the municipal bond rates, which are much lower. And as of June 30th, 2023, it was 3.86%. So on the next slide, we show the results of those liabilities. So we did a valuation as of June 30th, 2023. Those numbers will be reflected on your June 30th, 2023 financial statements. As of June 30th, your total OPEB liability is $32.3 million. The trust assets were $10 million. So for a net OPEB liability of 22.3, that is compares to 27.2 million 2 years ago. Again, because the district has adopted an irrevocable trust, we're able to take advantage of a higher discount rate, which generates a lower liability than if we were to use the municipal bond rate. When we look at annual costs, the district paid about $2 million in benefits to retirees over the past year. That compares to 1.9 2 years ago. You made $500,000 to the trust last year. You did make a contribution of $5.5 million in fiscal year 2022, which explains the large increase in the plan assets from $3.9 million to $10 million, if you look at the second item there. And then the other thing, assets didn't do well in fiscal year 2022. There was a negative investment return of 7.7. We bounced back this year as of June 30th. For fiscal year June 30th, 2023, the actual return was 8.4. Of course, before 2 years ago, it was 23.5, just kind of showing the volatility and how the investments or how assets are invested. I think the next question is the next slide is just ask for questions, but we can definitely come back to any of these slides if you'd like. So I'll just open it up for questions if you have any.
Okay, trustees, do you have any questions? Start with Trustee Dybert. Trustee Ahmad?
I don't.
Trustee Fleek?
None, thank you.
Trustee Seibert?
No, I don't.
Trustee Clerk Mendoza?
No, none.
So in this OPED for our liability, to bring our liability down and do a more, I guess, proactive investment, who do we turn to? You could plan better for our future
Can you
retirees and have the
repeat that
funds.
question?
So who do we turn to as to, best how to invest more into that account, or, to prepare for our retirees? So in the future, if our budgets go down, then we have the monies to be continuing, our assets for our retirees. So who do we turn for to be better investors, in other words?
The district has been very fiscal conscious about funding the retirees' health insurance, and we are been using our general fund all these years. So the trust that that the board approved back in 2018 is where we've been building the funds that we are expected in the future to earn enough dividends to pay for the health insurance for the retirees. So the board approved the $500,000 every year. Last year, it was a one time that we did the $5 million. And so if we want to grow the trust, it's a good investment there. But we are subject to whatever the market is, how it is. So it's not a guarantee that we're going to be getting the dividends to fully pay for the health and welfare of the retirees from there. It's a good option, but I think the district doing the $500,000, it's been
A good investment.
a good investment, yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Clerk Mendoza has a question.
Ms. Garcia, is it at any time, can it raise or drop at any time? And could you let us know when that takes place? I usually get the statements a month, when the month has already passed. So it's when I see if we have earned or lost dividends. So the rate is we have the option for 3 portfolios, and we can change it like any time. But remember, I don't know if you remember, but I can come back when I do my interim report. I'll bring back that information, and we can only change it like at that time. So it can either be very, very conservative, like in the middle, not so much, and then the other one that is high risk. So those are the 3 portfolios that we can choose from. All right, thank you.
Thank you, CFO Garcia. I now open this item for public comment. Mrs. Martinez?
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they appear on your screen. Comments provided in writing will be read after the live comments. President Salazar, we do not have any participants who wish to address the board at this time, and we do not have any comments submitted in writing.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. See no one come forward, I close public comment. I now entertain a motion and a second to approve item number 12A1. Please state your name when you make a motion and second the motion.
Okay, I move to approve item 12A1.
Thank you. Do I have a
Trustee
second motion?
Seibert.
Trustee Dyber, I second that.
It has been moved by Trustee Seibert and second by Trustee Dyber to approve item 12A1. Ms. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Lianos,
Yes.
Trustee Duque Martinez,
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
Trustee Cortez, Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
Trustee Fleek,
Yes.
Trustee Seibert,
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
President Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar, I counted 8 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 1 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Item number 12B1, approve memorandum understanding with the California School Employee Association and its local Madera Unified Chapter number 169, collectively CSEA, to implement a classification and compensation study for classified positions.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, I'd like to invite Assistant Superintendent Aiello here for this item. This has been a long time coming. We've been waiting on this, and we have done a lot of work behind the scenes, a lot of work with PC, CSEA, HR, and lots of other constituents, and we appreciate all the patience out there. But tonight's our night.
Thank you, Superintendent Lau. Good evening, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, trustees. As you know, it's been a long process. We spent the last 3 years, our personnel commission has worked very hard. We contracted with Eric Hall and Associates to do a classified salary and job description study. We brought that forward to you recently for you to accept the classified study, and then you give us the authorization to negotiate the effects with CSEA. I will tell you, I think a lot of credit is due. CSE President Gideon's worked very hard. We spent many long hours trying to get to a point where we could put something before you tonight that we're very proud of to ensure that our classified employees are compensated correctly and their job descriptions fairly meet what they're doing day to day with our students. So before you, you have a memorandum of understanding that we've signed with CSEA, and before you to approve and give us authorization to move forward.
I now open this to public comment. Mrs. Martinez?
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they appear on your screen. Comments provided in writing will be read after the live comments. President Salazar, we do not have any participants. Oh, we do have one participant. I'm sorry.
I was giving you time just in case there were people online. Good evening, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, Board Trustees, Superintendent Lyle. I didn't think we would get to this point. It's been a long time coming. As Assistant Superintendent Aiello said, we spent a lot of time. There were a lot of people behind the scenes helping with this. It is important to ensure that we're competitive, but also for our job descriptions to be up to date. Some of them were extremely old. This process has been, for me, extremely difficult because I always want to advocate the best that I can for our classified staff, but I also have to come to the table and bargain in good faith. The study wasn't a full compensation study, but we had to consider other
Excuse me,
factors.
You didn't give your name. Can you give your name real quick?
I'm so
Thank you.
sorry. Sherry Giddens, the CSCA president. Forgive me. So I don't get up here enough. That's my fault. I'm sorry.
You know who you are, but the public may not.
In coming to the table to bargain, we did use this study as our foundation, but there were also other considerations, our health and welfare benefits, maintaining the internal alignment of our salary schedule, future job protection, and sustainability of what we were coming and asking for you to approve. There are several people I'd like to thank through this process, Director Barreras and her staff, the steering committee that took part from the very beginning and helped us through this process, CFO Garcia and her staff, HR Executive Assistant Lucy Osuna. I'm going to be honest, I'm amazed. I don't know how she kept us all organized. There was so much change and paperwork. Assistant Superintendent Aiello, who I have the highest regard for, and I don't know who lost more hair in this process, him or me. My executive board, they've supported me. And of course, I thank you, Board of Trustees, for working through this process. I know you had a ream of paper that you had to review. And lastly, I want to express my gratitude to our classified staff. It's been difficult through this process because you hope everybody wants to see their position on there with an increase. And it's difficult when you don't. And I feel like they think that's a reflection of their duties, and it's not. All of our classified staff are appreciated and valued. And for me, I'm blessed to represent them and work for them. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Giddens. Trustees, do you have any questions for staff? Trustee Dybert, do you have any questions for staff?
I don't, but I want to commend the team that has worked. I know it's been a long time. I was part of this study too. It started when I was still working, but thank you so much, CSEA team, and Director Aiello too, and the whole staff. I know it takes the whole group of people to put this together, and it was well put. So thank you so much.
Trustee Ahmad?
Oh, I don't have any question.
Trustee Fleek?
No questions, but thank you all.
Trustee Seibert?
No question.
Thank you. Clerk Mendoza?
No questions. Thank you.
Myself, I don't have questions, but thank you all for the hard work and the participation, collaboration. It was a long time coming. We deeply appreciate our classified staff and everybody else who put all their efforts into this. Thank you so much. I now entertain a motion and a second to approve item 12B1. Please state your name when you make the motion and second your motion.
Trustee Fleek, I'll move to approve the memorandum of understanding with the California School Employees Association and its local Madera Unified Chapter number 169.
Thank you. A second motion?
Clerk Mendoza, I second it.
Thank you, Clerk Mendoza. It has been moved by Trustee Fleek, a second by Clerk Mendoza to approve item 12B1. Ms. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Leonos?
Yes.
Trustee Duque Martinez?
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad?
Yes.
Trustee Cortez? Trustee Dybert?
Yes.
Trustee Fleek?
Yes.
Trustee Seibert?
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza?
Yes.
President Salazar?
Yes.
President Salazar, I counted 8 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 1 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. And now, item 12B2, adoption resolution number 20-2023-24 to implement classification and compensation study for unrepresentative classified positions. Superintendent Lyle.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, we have Assistant Superintendent Aiello here for this companion item.
Absolutely. Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, trustees. Part of the study that we did was for all classified employees. The MOU that you just approved was for our represented classified through CSCA employees. We also have our confidential employees, supervisors, and classified management. And so before you, we have a resolution recommending the salary placements and job descriptions for those positions.
Thank you. And now I open this item for public comment. Mrs. Martinez.
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they appear on your screen. Comments provided in writing will be read after the live comments. President Salazar, we do not have any participants who wish to address the board at this time, and we do not have any comments submitted in writing.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. See no one come forward. I close public comment. Trustees, do you have any questions for staff? Trustee Dybert? Trustee Ahmad?
No.
Trustee Fleek? Trustee Seibert?
No.
Clerk Mendoza?
No.
Myself, no, but thank you again, because, we can't forget our unrepresented positions. And for the public, the trustees have reviewed these studies, and we have questioned our staff, and we had a lot of questions, so we did a lot of work on this, what they presented to us, so we're not just rolling this by, we did a lot of work behind the scenes. Thank you very much. Trustees, I now entertain a motion and a second to approve item 12B2. Please state your name when you make a motion and second the motion.
Trustee Dybert, I move to adopt resolution number 20 to implement classification and compensation study for unrepresented classified positions.
Thank you. Do I have a second motion?
Trustee Ahmad, second.
Thank you. It has been moved by Trustee Dybert and second by Trustee Ahmad to approve item 12B2. Mrs. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Leonos,
Yes.
Trustee Duque Martinez,
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
Trustee Cortez, Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
Trustee Fleek,
Yes.
Trustee Seibert,
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
President Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar, I counted 8 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 1 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Announcement, Superintendent Lyle.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and public, I do have several announcements. There's some really good ones. One of the announcements I think that would be pretty appropriate at the moment would just be to say congratulations to CSEA for having some outstanding leadership. You guys saw it all the way through. You should feel good about that. You made the district stronger, more competitive, and more fair through this process. Congratulations. That's no small feat. It's better for all of us. And for a few, it was really very important. So we appreciate that greatly. And for our trustees, there's a lot of work behind the scenes. I'm glad that President Salazar referenced all of that because there was a lot of reading, a lot of understanding. The process was long, it was arduous, and you guys really threw yourselves into it to understand it really well. And I think that speaks to the state of your esteem for the work that is done in Madera Unified. Tonight it's classified, another night it might be certificated, but that's the kind of leadership that you guys bring to this district. And I think that should be called out tonight too. So it's great to get to yes. And we did. The State of the District will be held tomorrow evening at Torres High School. The reception begins at 4 p.m. The program begins at 5. Just so we're all really clear, it's really not about the state of the district. It's really about the state of all the great things that people are doing to make things better. And it's about celebrating those student champions that go into the Hall of Fame because they're the ones that inspired us to keep doing what we do. My remarks are going to be kept to 272 words because if Lincoln could get to if Lincoln could get the Gettysburg Address done in that word count, I can get this done too. Trustee Garza will hold the first alternative ed student voice meeting on Thursday, October 26th and that's set for 9 a.m. That'll be really helpful and important. We learn a lot. Band Blitz is also scheduled for Thursday, October 26th. The event is the first of its kind and will be held at various sites to expose students to our band opportunities as they enter middle school and high school. The Band Blitz Day will also take place on Tuesday, October 31st, and on Thursday, November 2nd. And Richard Delgado has brought this great idea to us and helped us organize it. We want our students to feel really special about the opportunities to be a part of band. Madera South High School and Torres High School will play on Friday night, October 27th, the Rodeo Bowl. It's a fun time. Please come out and see it if you can. And I'm no betting allowed, unless it's for M&Ms or something. The Parent Advisory Committee will meet on Wednesday, November 1st at 6 p.m. So trustees, you should expect, those of you who are scheduled to be there, an invitation if you haven't already gotten it. Please let us know if you can attend. A special board meeting is scheduled for Thursday, November 2nd and Wednesday, November 8th from 5 to 7 p.m. We'll see you there. And on the Madera Unified Band Night will take place Saturday, November 4th. Are you hearing a trend here about marching bands and getting kids excited? It'll be on November 4th at Madera South High School Stadium and will begin at 6:30 p.m. We'll get a chance to see everybody's show. Friday, November 10th is Veterans Day. The observance of the holiday at school sites, we'll observe it that day at our school sites, and administrative offices will also be closed. And our next DLAC meeting is scheduled for Monday, November 13th. So a lot happening in the next few weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Item number 14A, miscellaneous board member committee information reports. Trustees, this is an opportunity for you to provide the board updates on your reports from committee meetings and events you have attended. I will start with Trustee Ahmad.
On October On October 13, also I attended homecoming for Madera High, and I was riding with Mr. Ayala. It was a great ride, and it was great. I mean, it was a great event. You know, I really enjoyed it myself, and it was very nice to see small coyotes. They were smiling and they were very happy. It was a good event. Also, on October 19, I attended District Safety Committee meeting via Zoom. That's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Fleek? Trustee Fleek, go ahead. I said Fleek first. I meant to say Diver, but since I already said Fleek, Fleek might as well go first.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Trustee Diver.
It's on record.
To me, it's always an honor to work with CSEA and all the classified employees. And I'm sure that my father is very proud of all of you and everything that CSEA has done. At the Central Valley Education Coalition, we get information about what's happening at the state level with education and all the bills that are passed and not passed and things that we should support are always, there for our information about how this is going to affect our schools. Like everyone else, Washington Elementary had their back to school night, and the march through the neighborhood was a lot of fun, and people did come out and talk. There was a band, and the big Monas were very impressive. And those poor kids that had to carry them, those are a lot heavier than you think. MadTech gave their tours of their classroom and what was happening with their students in each area of study. Madera High School had their parade, rally, and homecoming football game, and it was fun to be the judge on the floats. It was amazing that my sister and I actually agreed on the same ones. I conned her into being one of the judges. Furman High School had a career and job fair that was well attended. Students from other schools also attended. The military recruiters were not able to be there. They had been given new assignments since the new war started, which is sad, but it was still a very successful day. The student voice at Madera High School was interesting, and many students spoke their minds, which was really good because that's what they're supposed to do. The safety committee is still committed to keeping all our students safe while at school and from their journey to school and from school, and that's very important. Yesterday, Principal Navarro gave a thorough presentation in English and Spanish at the school site council meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Fleek. Trustee Dybert?
Yes, thank you, President Salazar. I attended 3 events on Friday, October 13th. Like most of us, we cheer for our Madera High School homecoming. They started right by my house on Schnorr and Howard. I was very pleased to see on both sides of the street how many the community came out and they respond. So I'm very proud of, first of all, of the students for putting all that work, all the staff at the high schools that I know they have to put that together. But it's good to see that paid off because the community responds and the community is out there. I was there with my dog too, my husband cheering. It was
But-
nice to see.
Unfortunately, no fire truck.
I know, next year.
Never
My
mind.
husband has already got that from me. So we got a fire truck there. I saw the floats from Washington School. I didn't go to the calendar celebration. I had something else going on in my house. But I saw that they had the display, and Washington was there. I saw John Adams and TJ. So that was very nice. Very, very happy to see that. On Monday, October 16, I attended the DLAC meeting, and I have attended a meeting for this year, and I attended a few meetings before. And Mr. Alfredo Mesa had been the president, Mendes, I'm sorry. He has been the president for that committee for a couple of years, and I know that's the term that they have, but I think the leadership under him has been so good, and it's thank you to the staff too that provided that training and leadership and meetings. So they elected a new president, and I'm pretty sure she'll do an excellent job as well. On Tuesday, October 17, I attended the Madera High School Student Voice meeting. It's so refreshing to see the students talk about it, be given the opportunity that the Madera High School Student Board member did a great job leading and posing the questions that she did. What would you do as a principal? What would you change? And the kids had no fear in expressing their opinion. There were a lot of different topics that they talked. I'm not going to say because I'm pretty sure that she's going to give the report to the board. So I was very, very happy. Also on Wednesday, October 18, I want to reiterate my thank you to the principals that attended the special board meeting. They were there, we talked to them, and they shared a lot of their information. So I was very happy about that. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Seibert. I apologize.
Yeah, on our Calaxis D meeting, they were projecting next year only a 2% COLA increase for next year. And it's interesting when you get to talk to a lot of different superintendents up and down the valley when we meet and bring up a lot of different issues that we agree on in our legislatures or our lobbyists. Take that back to Sacramento and try to lobby for us.
They do a good job.
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza?
Thank you. Nothing at this time.
As for myself, like Trustee Seibert shared, we attended the Central Valley Education Coalition at Mexos, and we had different superintendents from the different valley that were sharing, what's happening in their in their sites and the various sites. And we had, which is very good to hear from Frost and Ball when they come back and share from Sacramento. Like he was saying that our COLA in the next couple of years is going to be a lot less than what we have right now. We had this year and the previous year, and also Assemblywoman Soria was there, and she heard some of the concerns of education that she was not aware of, and she's very good, proactive, and representing the Valley. So that was good that she was able to be part of this coalition meeting. Also, of course, I attended the Madera High homecoming parade. I drove our classified recognized employee, which that was an honor, and attended the DLAC, and they nominated the new president. And yes, Mr. Mendez has been president for the last couple of years, and he's really taken control of that committee, which is great, from the different sites. And our special board meeting, I thank all the principals that came out and the staff that helped us make aware of what is going on in our different school sites. And then performances of our students. And then we're having 2 more special board meetings on the 2nd and the 8th. And I thank you guys. Advanced planning. The special board meeting is going to be on the 2nd. The next board meeting is on November the 14th. Any suggestions for future agenda items, trustees? No? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
On November 8th, on our special board meeting,
Mhm.
that night, they also had the CTE meeting. And I was wondering if we could change our date from the 8th to the 7th, so we can make that CTE advisory committee meeting.
Yeah, because we only have like two a year. So if we miss it.
So we'll have the secretaries send out a notice to the other trustees. Are you guys okay for doing the 7th, 5 to 7, our special board meeting?
Is that agreeable with everybody?
My calendar looks good for me for that day. The 7th, right? At 5 o'clock?
Yeah, from 5 to
Yeah.
7.
Mm.
That's fine. So, Ms. Martinez, if we could note that and send out the invite, please. Thank you. For the 8th, we'll change it to the 7th. Thank you, trustees, for letting us know. We don't want you to miss a CTE meeting. Any other requests for any others from other trustees? No? Okay. So we're at 8:17. And I adjourn this meeting. Thank you again for attending tonight, and be careful going home.